Bacteria have a lot of ways of getting around. They twitch, they glide, they swim, and they slide. And according to research published in Journal of Bacteriology, they also swash. Welcome to Microbial Minutes, the American Society for Microbiology's update on what's hot in the microbial sciences. I'm Madeline Barron, Science Communication Specialist at ASM. Before we dive into today's video, please take a moment to complete the survey linked in the description. It only takes a few minutes and helps us make better videos. We appreciate your support. For most organisms, being able to move around is critical for accessing food and resources, and bacteria are no different. Over their millions of years on Earth, bacteria have evolved various motility mechanisms. Some of these mechanisms involve flagella, filaments that rotate thanks to a membrane-embedded protein motor complex. Flagella are required for movements like swimming and swarming, the latter of which refers to a collective movement of cell rafts on top of fluid-covered solid surfaces. Other types of motilities do not require flagella. Twitching, for example, is mediated by appendages called type 4 pili, which undergo cycles of rapid extension and retraction that facilitate a twitching movement. Gliding does not require flagella or pili. Instead, adhesions on the cell cycle across its length, latching and releasing to move the cell along. In sliding, cells in the colony are pushed outwards due to expansion and growth within the interior of the colony. Recently, scientists discovered a new type of movement distinct from all of these others. It's called swashing. Swashing gets its name from the wave-like appearance of swashing bacteria, with a fluid bulge at the colony edge that carries cells outward. But researchers didn't set out to observe swashing. They discovered it in their negative control for a different experiment in which they were examining migration of a Salmonella strain lacking the flagellar filament necessary for cell propulsion. The scientists noted that the mutant cells still migrated on the plates, though slower than the wild-type cells. They observed this in E. coli too and concluded that even without flagellar filaments, the bacteria were moving in some way. The question was, how? Surface tension can promote colony expansion. In sliding, for instance, bacteria produce surfactants or other molecules that reduce tension between the bacteria and the surface, acting sort of like a lubricant that allows expansion. But surfactants don't seem to help swashing. In fact, they inhibit it. When tween 80, a chemical surfactant that lowers surface tension, was externally added to plates, E. coli and Salmonella did not swash. In wild-type bacteria, however, more surfactant promoted swarming, something scientists previously established. But when it comes to swashing, something else was at play. What was important was glucose. Without it, Salmonella, lacking a key structural component of the flagellum, can't swash. Tests of other sugars showed that those that supported swashing were fermentable by the bacteria. A closer look revealed that in the wake of migrating cells were products of fermentation, namely acetate and formate. Moreover, the pH inside the colony was lower than at the leading edge of the colony, which happens as a result of fermentation. This turned out to be important. If researchers added a buffer to the plates to increase pH, swashing didn't happen. So how does this all fit together? The scientists' working model is that acetate and formate produced at the colony edge from fermentation draw water from the agar to increase osmolarity. As the water is pulled up, it forms a bulge at the colony front and pushes it outward. In the wake of this bulge, acetate produced by the bacteria accumulates and pH decreases. This pulls water from the colony, and water and osmolytes are sucked back into the agar. This pattern behaves like a wave that travels outward. The bacteria effectively ride this wave, allowing the colony to spread across the surface. This study provides additional evidence that flagellar propulsion is dispensable for surface migration, unveiling a whole new mechanism by which bacteria get around. Swashing doesn't require surfactants, but instead appears to depend on fermentation-induced osmotic flows. These flows do play a role in swarming, but how exactly they factor into that behavior is unclear. Perhaps the findings here could help provide more insights into some more established modes of motility, like swarming, while opening doors to dive deeper into the mechanisms of swashing. This discovery enhances our knowledge of bacterial physiology, which is inherently valuable. However, there could be some real-world implications for this work too. The authors note that the physical drivers of swashing could also contribute to the range expansion of many bacterial species, and thus may be widely demonstrated, including in bacteria that cause infections like Staphylococcus aureus. Bacteria may use swashing to spread on moist host surfaces. More research is needed, though, to determine if that's the case. But by understanding swashing, we may be able to develop drugs that take swashing into account, or design cleaning protocols in food processing plants or healthcare environments that minimize swashing-mediated movement. The point is, the more we uncover about how bacteria move, the better we may be able to stop them. That's all for today. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to ASM's YouTube channel for more Microbial Minutes. As always, I want to thank you for listening, thank Ray Ortega for production, and I'll talk to you next time.